Absolutely not. They're garbage. I mean, why else would they be known for shooting people's dogs?
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why those jokes come about is because of tragic incidences like we talked about earlier. You know, they shoot someone's dog. Oh, it's coming right for me. But I mean, they've messed up so much. Like, why do they still have chances?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the FBI messes up a lot too, but they do a lot more than the ATF does. I
Yeah.
mean, I and I don't understand how they're even getting away with the ability to basically interpret and make up laws as they go along.
That's
Like,
been,
like with
well, supposedly been changed. The Chevron deference, the Supreme Court just overruled that. What it pretty much, if I'm going to paraphrase it to what I think it means, but just not be able to make new laws willy nilly, snap of a meeting.
yeah, I mean I mean like with the whole pistol brace thing, ridiculous. I mean, and then also on top of that, if why can't we have like votes to overrule current laws from Congress?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of that genuinely because it puts the power back in the will of the people. What do the majority of people want? Um,
I mean most politicians,
well, that's a romanticization of politics is that they used to be
Yeah.
good and they used to care about the will of the people, but now it's become fuck Citizens United Act that pretty much legalized bribery in a very roundabout way, but bribery is legal in the U.S. for politicians.
yeah, it's called buying a congressman or buying a lobbyist or whatever. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's sad. I mean, I think there should be rules in place regardless, greater good of people, and it doesn't help people out and it's only for your own personal gain, then you should be held accountable for that.
Well, you're saying that legal
yeah,
bribery is bad? That's
Yeah.
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's insane.
That's is it? Okay. I know who pays your fucking paycheck. All right. Yeah, of course you want Boeing in power. Of
Yeah.
course you want Lockheed Martin to get as much shit as they want.
Yeah, because that benefits me directly, of
I
course.
mean,
Yeah.
paying companies for defense contract stuff is fine.
I mean, the amount that we're
But like,
spending.
I mean, me personally, I've invested in Lockheed Martin.
I mean, I have my
You
own
know, like
shares in
oh,
I
Lockheed
hold.
Martin. I mean, who doesn't?
Uh,
oh, so you
yeah,
guys are both a part of the problem. Okay, I see how it fucking is.
I mean, I like Lockheed Martin. I mean, they also made the SR-71. I mean,
Yeah,
I wish I could fly one
Yeah,
of
Skunk
those.
Works.
Hell yeah, I wish I could go fly one of those. That would be awesome.
they really should make it so like if you have your pilot's license, you can, you know, physically operate everything, and you're qualified to do so. You just pay like a one
Well,
time.
you can, but um you have to be certified for each. You have to get a rating for every type of however it's operated. So if it's turbines, you have to get your turbine rated.
But then imagine you win the fucking lottery and you can just buy a 1,000 horsepower car, no other training required. As long as it's not more than X amount of pounds, you don't need any more training. You're good.
Driving is very simple compared to flying
I mean, yeah, it definitely is. I'm not going to debate that, but like the difference
because
between
when you're flying, not only are you a pilot, you're a meteorologist. You have to know winds, you have to be a mathematician, you have to be able to calculate fuel.
I mean, overall, if you
yeah,
have a
There's a
good
no,
pilot,
lot
I
that
would still
goes
say
into
that
it.
driving is more dangerous. Ironically.
yeah,
Ironically, it is because most people are
Yeah.
terrible drivers. I mean, there's a lot of terrible drivers out there. I miss the days of COVID. Like, I don't
yeah.
know about any of you guys, but the
No,
days
I
of
feel
COVID during the lockdowns when I was considered essential for the
Yeah.
company that I worked for and I was driving through the cities, I never had a single traffic jam. Traffic flow was fantastic, never any problems, which told me how essential most people actually
You're
are, which is not
yeah, you're
very
right.
many.
I mean, I drove to school during COVID, so I drove through the cities for that. And yeah, I mean, people are driving like way above the speed limit, but I mean, it
I
worked.
miss that
Yeah,
traffic so
it was like
much.
less. There's less
I
people.
miss that traffic. I miss that traffic. I mean, I kind of want to be like hashtag, make America plaguey again.
Yeah, we need another pandemic.
I mean, that's just for the
Totally.
driving aspect because I
Yeah,
loved it during that time. Now it's everywhere you go, there's a traffic jam, and it's like,
yeah,
come on, people don't know how to zipper merge. People can't use their signals well.
yeah,
They had 2 inches to make it safer to drive. To make it safer for everyone around you, so everybody knows what your intentions are.
yeah.
I think it's a product of our country that we live in. I know other countries are a lot more rigorous with handing out driver's licenses.
Well, it's because our main
I mean,
transportation. Would you like it to be like harder to get?
yeah. Well, kind of.
Yes. Well, actually, Carter, you probably wouldn't get your license at that point.
Okay. I all right. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna disprove you math. Um, so I'm in favor of like making your license more difficult to get, as you just said you are as well. What do you think would be like some good metrics to also test people on to make it a slightly higher barrier to entry, as opposed to just drive around a city, do everything correct, parallel park, 90-degree park. There you go. You have a license.
Know how to zipper merge properly. You
Okay.
gotta know how to zipper merge properly
Yeah.
because most people will wait till the last second to get in. But if you zipper merge properly, then the traffic of flow can remain at a speedier
Well, that
pace
I would also
Then
like attest to
without any
like
traffic jams.
preventing phantom stops where like cars are slowing down for no reason. That's because one guy braked at a stupid time, far in the future. So it's still like
yeah.
you're getting the wave effect of that.
To move, but he just
Yeah.
stayed stopped. So I honked my horn once just to get his attention, to pay attention to the road, because he's probably doing what Carter does and sit on his phone texting.
I don't do that.
And and with that, the moment I honked, everybody behind me became a giant chain reaction of just everybody going honk, 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 honk all the way
Damn.
back. It was fantastic. But I mean, it's just like everybody wants to get where they're going, but you get people who are dumb and don't even pay attention. Those people gotta get
I
off the
think if
road.
we had like better
Just
public transportation, in general, get certain people that don't want
uh,
licenses off the road, or like, and then we could make it
and
more
I think
rigorous.
I also think as you get older, once you hit like 65, if you want to maintain your license, you gotta like renew it every like 4 years. You gotta go in, or you gotta renew it. Within 5 years, whatever. Once you're 70, it's every 2 years. You gotta show that you can
Yeah.
still drive properly and maintain
Yeah.
the flow with the flow of traffic. And because I mean, like people who are getting onto, when you're getting onto the interstate, if you're not that the purpose of that whole ramp is to get up to the
Yeah.
speed
I love
of the
people that do
interstate.
that. It's so fun just going
and
behind someone
there's
that's merging at 20 miles an hour. It's
and then I mean that's called like fully forward, and they're going like 50 miles an hour on a 70, right?
mouth open, breathing through the mouth, just, yeah, zoned
Yeah,
out. Yep.
I
It's
mean, and they have no idea what's going on. But I
too many
mean,
people.
I see it all the time because, as you guys have probably heard from Carter, we go everywhere and we drive a lot. And with that being said, I see a lot of things.
Right.
And that is one of the biggest things that is a pet peeve of mine, is people who cannot maintain the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
Well,
you're
it's
going
also
20 if you're going 20 miles an hour under the posted speed limit, and traffic's flowing at 70 miles an hour, and you're going 50, now you're a hazard on the road.
Yeah. I
yeah.
think
People like that are the
go ahead.
I was just going to say people like that are probably the biggest risk factor in our lives expiring prematurely. And I mean, it's just for anyone that drives, but
You
yeah,
won't find any
just
arguments
reiterate.
here with. I feel like after a certain age, you have to kind of start taking
I
tests
feel like
because
once
you've seen those
when you hit
news
80, I
stories.
think every year you need to do a
Yeah,
test.
because I feel like 65 is
I
a good
think at
number
80 you
because
got to do a
there's
test.
like all these stories where like elderly people like drive through buildings.
Okay, so why don't we, as a country, make a system for the elderly, for an elderly transportation? So it's not like taking the bus, right? So it's not like taking the bus, but it's for elderly people who struggle driving now, right? So that way, they just call up a number, someone comes and picks them up,
And that exists
right?
in
Yeah, so our taxpayer dollars goes to old
there
people. It's like
there's a
Social Security.
transportation
Yeah.
system in
But it,
the town that Amedius lives in, and there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
service that they
Trailblazer.
actually do call up, and then they can have a bus come and take them.
but do they have to pay for it out of their own pocket?
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
free.
I'm talking about a federally funded.
So at that point, why don't we just like
You know,
invest in the more public transportation? Because then they have the option to do
well, yeah,
that.
that's what I'm going off
And
with
then it's
here
like
when you're saying that we need better public
right,
transportation.
but you said like not like a normal busing system, but just for the elderly. But we might as well just like open it up to the
Yeah,
rest of the people. Not make it free for everyone, but like
well,
we can make it more incentivizing for elderly people to take public
okay. So
transportation.
how about this? We legalize some drugs, and we use those taxes to pay for this.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah,
I have no issue with
or legalize newly made, newly manufactured machine guns and use the tax stamps to help pay for the road public system, whatever. I mean,
no, Justin, your money needs to go to
yeah.
Ukraine. All right, it needs to go to a good cause. It needs to go to Ukraine. It needs to go to Israel. It needs to go to paying our pair to discuss shit. I have no issue with that. But a UN military
I could
force
see
that
your
is
argument with the EU being basically NATO, but not UN. What's your thought behind
maybe
that?
that's what maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
United Nations, it's like
I'm just
almost
saying shit to
every.
say shit. I'm just saying shit to
Okay.
say shit.
I think another great thing that we could do is incentivize people to buy motorcycles because that would also possibly help with traffic jams. They just don't take up as much space. But
Okay, are you gonna want to drive a motorcycle when it's negative 40 degrees out, sir?
um,
And snowy
I
and
live in
icy?
well,
Hell
it
no.
depends on the state. All right,
Probably not if
obviously,
you go outside.
Like
it would
I don't even want to go outside at that point.
in certain states no, but like in states where the weather is
It's gonna be worse. There's gonna be more fatalities.
okay, and
Because so you want people to die?
That's wild.
You, you, you want the people who don't pay attention just willy-nilly just killing off fucking motorcyclists? And you could be one of them.
no, I don't. I think it's a difficult thing. There's too many fucking people. That's the issue. There's too many people. It's like you can enact policy and pass new laws, but it's easier to like enforce those and get the message through when you only have to communicate it to 15, 20, 30,000 people as opposed to
Not sign up to be the first volunteer.
I've already
I,
signed you. I've already got your signature multiple times, buddy. You're already
I
signed
got
up.
yours too.
Damn.
Okay. Well, I thought this was a good podcast. I think this is a good stopping point. Uh, thank you both for joining.
Yeah, thank you guys
Yeah,
both.
no problem.
Someone
Appreciate the
named
invitation.
Yeah, no problem.
It was good to have you on. We'll have you on again, Justin. This has been a long time coming. You know, you're more than welcome to join whenever we have these episodes again because you're a pretty good
Yeah.
guest.
That's
Someone in the second. I'm not saying you're not a good guest. You are a good guest. I'm sorry. I just don't know you as well, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say like as many compliments towards you. Like if someone
Sorry,
like you,
I know, no problem,
I,
man.
I could be a very talkative person.
we
Yeah.
need that. We need the uppers.
Someone in the second has
I get those dark humor
Instagram. Just regularly posts. You wanted me to shout it out. I appreciate the shout out earlier. I think we did actually get some traction before that, but since we had so many fucking issues with Kick, the other streaming platform, we weren't able to bank off of that. So
What, did they just
well,
like kick you
no.
off or something? Were you guys boring before, like, I joined
No,
in?
we're never
we weren't
boring.
but we were. Yeah, we're never boring, but we were trying to stream on Kick because we had an audience of like 10 people waiting for us. But today of all days, Kick decides to not cooperate and we can't
Right.
stream on there. So by the time we're rock and rolling, everyone's
Actually, yeah, I was having buffer issues with YouTube as well. So I don't know if it's just my end or if it's just OBS just being garbage. But yeah. So this is actually our second stream today of this podcast because for some reason the stream before just ended out of nowhere. So
yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you all to those of you who listened, which is none of you, but we appreciate the time and energy and commitment and the dedication and the enthusiasm that you pay towards this podcast.
Wait, hold on. I know one person who's gonna watch it.
You do?
I do. And
Okay.
it's you!
Yeah. I mean,